request Mr. K. Krishnamurthy, Chairman, IESA, introduce us to Deftronics 2016 Awards.
The speech by Honorable Minister for IT and BT and the distinguished Professor, Mr. Priyank Karge, and the distinguished Professor and the CEO of BrahMos, ex-CEO of BrahMos, Dr. Shivtanu Pillai. I think they have set the stage so appropriately for the award ceremony. It's probably not a matter of coincidence, and I'm sure the minister won't take offense when I say this. When we have a very young minister for the IT and BT, we are delighted to hear statements which we have been waiting to hear for many, many years. I think to have a defense aerospace park, investment readiness for a startup, I think this is like music to the industry. And sir, the organizations IESA and NASSCOM, we assure you that we are strongly behind you in all the initiatives that the state government will initiate to make this dream come true. As I said earlier, all those who are seated here have started walking this dream journey. And morning we saw the Rollenberger report, which said the next 10 years or 12 years, we are talking about $72 billion of electronics business alone in defense, aerospace, and internal security, and it's not a small number. The government of India's target for manufacturing, which is currently around 15–16% of the GDP, they want to take it to 25%. Manufacturing as a contribution to the GDP to 25%. Now, if you do the maths of what that means, and within that, probably 30% of that is electronics manufacturing, and the minister alluded to the fact, which IESA had brought out about 3 years back, a Frost & Sullivan report for the first time, not 4 years, maybe 5 years back, the Frost & Sullivan report for the first time said our electronics import, not only defense and aerospace, overall electronics import will probably exceed the oil import, which is the highest import bill today. So fortunately or unfortunately, the oil prices dropped, so our oil import reduced, the value of the oil import reduced, our consumption of electronics increased. So what we said 5 years back that it will happen in 2022 or something, probably will happen 3 years earlier, which means as an industry team who are sitting here, the onus is on us to prevent that from happening and grab the opportunities that are in front of us to make the transformation from an import-centric electronics consumer to a design and manufacturing-centric electronics producer. I think that's the transformation that we need to do. And two specific instances that I wanted to mention in this context, briefly we talked about in the morning, the meeting that we had with the Honorable Raksha Mantri on the 25th of July in Delhi, where we talked about the strategic imperatives about a year and a half back. Now we went with very specific recommendations in each of these disabilities that the industry has today. And he spent an hour and 15 minutes listening to it, giving specific directions to his officers, his secretaries, etc. Today morning, after the inaugural event, we spent about an hour and a half with Dr. Saraswat. The number of ideas that he presented, the number of suggestions that he gave to the industry, when I read these two together, what happened on 25th meeting with Raksha Mantri and what happened today in our meeting with Dr. Saraswat, it clearly demonstrates that there is a strong commitment from the government at the center. And after listening to the Honorable Minister for IT and BT, I'm completely convinced that it's not only the central government, but also the state government who are talking the industry's language with conviction, with gutso, and I think the time cannot be more appropriate than now. So with that as a prelude, I would like to go straight into the introducing the awards. So we have 5 categories of awards and an individual award. So total of 6 awards. So I will start by talking about the category first and announce the winner, and give me a minute or two to talk about what they achieved or what made them qualify for this award. And then we will call upon the representatives to come on stage, and I'm sure the MC will assist me in getting the awards to the stage in time. So the first category of award is the Best Product Design Company in Aerospace and Defense. The category is MNC, multinational company, and this award goes to GE Aviation. So can I request the representatives of the GE Aviation to please come on the stage? And in the meantime, let me briefly tell you what significant achievement they have made. I don't think GE Aviation requires any great introduction. We see the GE engines in most of the aircrafts that we tried. When we walk up the ladder to get into an aircraft, we see the GE engine blades on the aircraft. But the kind of path-breaking technologies that they have brought in, right from propellers, turboprops, engines, to what they have at the most advanced jet engines today, that's all something which all of us know about. And they have outstanding quality records, outstanding ability to deliver on time, and maintain, support the MRO activities. But that's all what you expect from a company like GE all the time. But what are they working on today? That's what makes it more interesting. They're working on what will be the kind of engines that are required in 2030, 2035. Approximately 15 to 20 years ahead, what kind of engines will run the aircrafts in the world, and what will be the unique features of those aircrafts. And we are talking about open rotor class of engines, hybrid electric propulsions, clean NASA programs. Not only that this is going to be inducted in the next 15 years, but they will have a lifetime of another 25, 30 years. So we are talking about, so they are working on technologies which will last for probably next 40 to 50 years. And the path-breaking effort in that happens, part of that happens out of Bangalore. And the gentleman here represents that team. And put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize GE Aviation. May I request Honorable Minister for IT and BT, Mr. Priyank Kharge, to present the awards. The second award is the Best Product Design Company in Aerospace and Defense. The category is an Indian company. I'm happy to announce the winner here is MOSCHIP Semiconductor Technology Limited. May I request the representatives from MOSCHIP Semiconductor to come on stage. MOSCHIP Semiconductor Technology is the only semiconductor technology company which is in extensive design experience in markets such as aerospace, defense, consumer electronics, audio, video, networking, and telecommunications, security, and software development. It's a full function design capability, end-to-end from concept to product. And the product development experience not only covers SoC, silicon on chip, but connectivity, software, systems engineering, etc. And this allows them to become a force to reckon with and meet the most demanding challenges of complex hardware and design services. Presently, they are working with Department of DRDO lab in Hyderabad for a wearable complex SoC, approximately 250 million transistors in a 40 nanometer CMOS low power technology. And the part of the design, product design, is conceived, executed by MOS chip, and the application is defined by DRDO. So essentially, it's a custom product for the Indian defense establishment that they are developing. And this is not a mean task. I've been an IC designer for almost 15 years, and I know how difficult it is when you go to deep submicron technologies. And that too, if you're doing it for the exacting standards of defense and aerospace, that makes life very, very difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to and I request Honorable Minister, Mr. Priyank Kharge, to present these awards too. Thank you.
Welcome to Africa.
The next award is the Best Electronics Manufacturing Company in Aerospace and Defense. And this award goes to Centum Electronics, Bangalore. May I request the representatives to be on the stage, please? Centum Electronics was founded in 1994 by Mr. Apparao Mallavarapu in Bangalore. And then, since then, as I said earlier, they stayed focused on space and defense right from beginning. So it's almost 24 years, almost 25 years close to, that they have been in this business. And cutting across various verticals within this, they have 4 world-class manufacturing facilities today in Bangalore, a range of products and services catering to both defense and aerospace. It's not only that they cater to the Indian market, they are also a key exporter as far as the technologies that are covering both defense and aerospace is concerned. Their motto is very interesting: technology, teamwork, and trust. So I think that's what that you require to stay in this field for such a long period of time. And they have forged great relationships with not only Indian companies, as I said, but with transnational companies, and providing solutions and systems for quite a few years now. And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to congratulate Centum Electronics. I request Dr. Shivtanu Pillai to present this award. So in the manufacturing sector, we have one more award, the Best Electronics Manufacturing Company in Aerospace and Defense. The second winner of this award is Data Patterns India Private Limited. We have CEO, Mr. Rangarajan, who is here with us today. So Data Patterns is India's premier leader in indigenously developed electronic systems for defense and aerospace. And they're founded about 30 years back. So this is what makes it interesting when it comes to Centum and Data Pattern. They are anchored for almost 2.5, 3 decades, and they are seeing great success of late. The products of very high value, high reliability, and also high complexity. They are capable of developing several of such products for the customers within the country and abroad, and achieves it with the philosophy of manufacturing products with reliability, lifespan expected in its market domain. Data Pattern is recognized by its customers for its ability to deliver complex program in short turnaround times with ease, which is very, very unique when it comes to defense and aerospace. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize Data Patterns. I request Dr. Shivadanu Pillai to present this award. We talked about startup, and no award can be complete without recognizing the startup. And particularly when we have a young minister with us who talked about with so much of conviction, so much of energy about the support for startup. So the most promising startup in aerospace and defense is Astron Technologies Private Limited. Now this is a very interesting startup with a very interesting idea. So what are they doing? Their goal is to provide high-speed broadband internet from space. This is a bunch of very young people, fire in the belly, and they want to provide broadband network internet connection from space. And the product that they are developing is advanced high-throughput satellites. And the next generation technologies that will have high impact to not only to urban areas to which it is limited today, but it will be spread all over the country because it gets beamed from the space. And it will have a paradigm shift in the way education is delivered in this country, the way healthcare is delivered in this country, the way agriculture is managed in this country, and natural resources are managed in this country. It will have a far-reaching impact. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of thing that we want to see more and more in this country to happen. Give them a big applause. And I request the Honorable Minister, who has gave a clarion call for startups, to present this award. I must mention here that this startup is incubated in Indian Institute of Science. So this is where the academia and the industry can work together to create such high-value startups. And this is what IESA is assiduously working today to get these kind of startups. And I was mentioning to the Honorable Minister, IESA has piloted a startup ecosystem in an engineering college in Hubli, where we started with Mr. Vivek Pawar, who is driving that, who is an EC member of IESA, is not here at the moment. But we started with 2 or 3 small startup companies in the campus in Hubli, engineering college in Hubli. So these are students, masters or BTech students coming together, a couple of them, and trying to work on an idea, some of these ideas, brilliant ideas which these youngsters have. And today, in a period of about 4 years, or 5 years probably, it has grown to 39 companies working inside a university campus in Hubli. And we are seeing success coming out of campuses like IISc, where startups are mentored by knowledgeable people, faculty, and I think this will continue. And IESA is working with multiple states in making this happen. I was talking to the Minister of IT and BT, Government of Odisha, about 3-4 weeks back, and they are very keen to get this off the ground. So fortunately, as I said earlier, we have the state governments coming together, the central governments coming together, and we are making it a big success. Now to the last award. Now this is an individual award. This is for lifetime achievement in aerospace and defense. A person who has dedicated his life, a person who has brought path-breaking technologies, made it successful in aerospace and defense vertical. And when we debated on after whom should we name this award, I think it was a 5-second discussion, and we are happy to announce Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement Award, and the winner is Dr. Vijay Kumar Saraswat, Dr. V.K. Saraswat. So please come on stage. He's one of the most eminent scientists that we have, who formerly served as the Director General of DRDO, Chief Scientific Advisor to the Indian Minister of Defense Raksha Mantri, and after retirement on 31st of May 2013, presently he is a member of Niti Aayog, which is a new planning commission, and he's a key scientist in the development of many missile programs, but notably the Prithvi missile. And if you remember, Dr. Kalam kicked off the integrated missile development program in this country, and we have a person who worked under Dr. Kalam today to receive that award, and nothing can be more a proud moment for all of us. And for all his contribution, he has been recognized with the Padma Shri Award by the Government of India. So Dr. Padma Shri V.K. Saraswat, Padma Bhushan, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, Padma Shri first and then a Padma Bhushan. So ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Padma Bhushan V.K. Saraswat, please put your hands together to this great scientist. And I request Honorable Minister Priyank Kharge to present this award. Request Dr. V.K. Saraswat to say a few words.
Honorable Minister of IT and Biotechnology, Government of Karnataka, Mr. Priyank Kharge, my very old and esteemed colleague and friend, Dr. Pillai, all the industry partners with whom I have worked for many, many years who are present there, my colleagues and friends from DRDO, Space, the entire Bangalore Aerospace and Defense community which is present here. It's a great honor which IESA and NASSCOM have given to me, that the award in the name of Dr. Kalam is being given to his Shishya, who has been working with him, who has been trained by him for almost 25 to 30 years. And whatever I have achieved is all because of his training, his lessons, and his vision, which has made it possible. I would like to certainly dedicate this to him. But more than that, I think it is the entire community which is present here today, from the small, medium, and large industry sector, the academic institutions which have been responsible for making success of this missile program and many other aerospace and defense programs, and a large number of engineers and technicians within DRDO, outside DRDO, within industry, who have worked shoulder to shoulder in treading this very difficult path which Mr. Krishnamurthy highlighted of achieving success despite large number of constraints. And I think the country has been able to do it because of the synergy, because of the leadership of Dr. Kalam at that time, and of course the will of this country to overcome all the problems that came in our way. So It's a movement which I would like to certainly dedicate for those all who have soiled and sweated all along for the last 35, 40 years. A few things I would like to mention to the community present here. The path which we followed after 1980, when the IGMD became, was something where we were all learning together. We were learning technology, we were learning management, we were learning how to handle large systems. Industry was growing. And the comparison was that we don't have many of the things which are needed to system engineer a complex system like missile or aircraft. Even as late as 2011 or 2012, when the computer for LCA had to be mass produced, we had to struggle to upgrade the manufacturing capability in an institution like Bharat Electronics, because the technology for doing that class of computer, the manufacturing process, the quality assurance systems, and even some of the pick and place kind of equipment and environment was not present. Now, we can't afford that in this scenario. If we have to really make grade, we have to keep pace with the technology which is happening and which is related to what Honorable Minister talked, skills, Dr. Pillai talked about it. And I also mentioned a few things in the morning, that it is specifically with respect to the way the electronics technology is emerging. I talked of, flexible electronics, I talked of nano systems, I talked of high frequency systems, which require a different skill set, which also require different manufacturing facilities and infrastructure. So whatever today we are planning, I think we should not plan merely for bridging the technology gap which exists. We should plan for what is going to be required in the next 15 to 20 years by all of you, because you will come up with those ideas of using those systems in tomorrow's IoT, tomorrow's data mining, tomorrow's supercomputer, tomorrow's wearable defense electronics, and so on. All of us have to work together in that direction. That would certainly have to be also made part of the academic curriculum, the skill institutions which are going to be created as part of this cluster which Honorable Minister was talking. And more than that, the international collaboration. I was just talking to the lady over here from Taiwan. There are opportunities where we can really make use of them and upgrade all these facilities together. Once again, thank you very much for this award, which I dedicate to all of you, and have a nice day tomorrow. I'll be not there tomorrow for attending the seminar. Thank you very much.